Welcome for anyone who will watch us. My name is Ilona Olahlova, and we prepare like series of short talks. And the reason is that I am the representative of organization which is called Mission Reconnect. We are a small Czech organization, and we hope that in July we will have our first international training course about media literacy. But so far we cannot say anything for sure because due to pandemic, but still we are taking the steps to prepare for this training, which is being supported by the Czech National Agency and will focus on the topic of media literacy for youth workers. And today I have here with me our first guest for this media talk is Inese Priedite. She's representing our Latvian partner, but even more, she will be also one of the trainers of the activity. And firstly, I will just give Inese a bit of space to introduce herself and maybe her organization. So Inese, feel free to join.
Hello, everyone. My name is Inese. I'm coming from Latvia, but currently based in France. And as Ilona mentioned, my job is working in non-formal education as a facilitator. I'm cooperating with different organizations and institutions, hosting trainings mostly on different creative learning methods and sometimes also consulting people who want to write projects. And meanwhile, I'm also managing the organization Room of Fulfilled Dreams, which is a partner in this project. And this little being who is showing her head sometimes. A bit jumpy today. Yes, that's very shortly about me. About organization, it's maybe very much connected to my own story as a trainer because something like 10 years ago, I had a lot of chances to learn about European programs and to participate in different activities. And I was thinking that it's a quite a great thing to offer to young people, especially those who are unemployed or in some kind of crisis in life. I was myself in crisis, and I think Erasmus Plus Youth in Action saved me somehow. And I together with some other people who have been volunteers before, I was a volunteer in the past, we created the organization with the idea to give young people chances to go somewhere and participate and basically learn anything just to stay active and not to stay at home. Because as we know, with this unemployment, the more and more you are inactive, the more difficult it's actually to come back to a job market or to start something new. So just not to get deeply stuck in this passivity maybe and some kind of isolation. And with time, like, of course, the start was a bit like random, as it happens with youth organizations and with young organizations. And with time, our work transformed a bit. So we are now more working with youth workers, with educators, teachers, other facilitators, and really sharing our ideas and experience about different creative learning methods. And I would say our job is now much about how we can change education in a way that the learning, like how we learn and what we learn, could actually help us to solve some problems in society, not only to learn, so to maximize the impact of education on communities, let's say so.
Thank you for this introduction. Our organization, we founded with the aim to also give like people opportunity to explore this European, like, let's say, world, because all of us which found the Czech organization kind of left Czech Republic to abroad, and now we are looking for the ways how to reconnect. So thank you for the introduction, and now we will go to the topic. And how I mentioned, the topic is media literacy. And you may notice that now recently there is a lot of like maybe courses addressing this topic. So I will start a little bit with sharing why we choose it. Because in the Czech Republic, we really see the need for it. There is now, I think, really big wave of challenges connected with this topic regarding the fake news, disinformation, and I would also say big of toxicity in the especially online media world. And also I decided when I was writing it that I want to address the topic because in my own family, I'm always like facing this topic, like this discussion. But look, it's on Facebook, it needs to be true. So that was maybe my personal motivation link with the professional motivation, what we can really do like youth workers. So I would just now, I would like to ask you, when you look to Latvia or maybe France, because Inese is living in these both countries, do you see like something interesting or appealing when we talk about this topic? Do you see need for this topic, or maybe you think that in Latvian and French reality it's something what is very cool and we can just learn from it?
I will speak more about Latvian situation because yes, of course, media education is really needed, and in our organization, we were working on this topic. Also, it's like almost 10 years ago when we start something, and actually the reason was because the media education is not really offered in schools in Latvia. So there's no places where you can learn about it so much. As far as I know, maybe now there have been some chances because changes because of there is some effort to transform the education in high schools and make it more competence based, and critical thinking should be like part of it, and also media literacy. But like in general, yes, there is no specific there's not much specific training on this topic, and of course the level of lack of like critical thinking, first of all, it's very frustrating. And like if 10 years ago I was saying that I would like to do something about this media education, because my own background is media and communication, like the academic backgrounds and also professional backgrounds. I've used to work in a field for some time, and yes, I thought it's a nice thing to do and it's a useful thing to do. But now, to be honest, I'm not sure if I want to go into this, because it's a paradox, and as we are doing this course together, but it's really hard, and I find it really difficult to stay kind of to keep some kind of empathy and understanding and just kindness in all the communication that happens, especially on the social media and so on. So basically the question was the question was about situation in Latvia. I think it's pretty much the same like in many other places, that the people are very different, and there is a part which wants to learn and is participating in all the courses and so on, and there's another part which also wants to learn, but you maybe might question their sources and so on. So nothing very bright to share about situation in Latvia.
I also have nothing maybe so bright to share in the situation in the Czech Republic, but definitely I totally relate with the point, because when I was now looking what we apply in the project, because long time passed, maybe you now listen to talk and you are thinking how it is, but this project was applied in the times when no Corona existed, and it was planned to be done last year. So I opened like recently the program which we applied with, and I was now like getting really confused, like, is it really now useful, or what we should do with it? And also related with my personal perception, now I have even sometimes more feeling like to switch everything off, leave all these online spaces, and maybe to communicate, I don't know, by sending the pigeons. Okay, that's very extreme for 21st century. But really, I also feel this kind of like, I will not say like insecurity of how to approach this huge topic of media literacy. So I will maybe break it down to just one simple question. What you do personally, like a youth worker, like I think very critically thinking person, to stay kind of sane in this kind of 21st century overwhelming period of information. And if you take like some few practical steps, for example, so how you check that your news are, let's say, not fake, like if you can just relate to yourself.
Okay, I actually will start with a bit continuing what you said, because I was reflecting on my own what could be now the good way how to provide media education. And I was actually thinking that it really makes sense maybe that media education is, it's about taking time off the media and trying to get people really involved in their communities, like by, I'm a big fan of this way of council type of circles, or by, I don't know, taking some initiative in a community life and like really go out and get to know the people who live around you and get to know the problems which are there. Because I'm not sure if when I do some training, some project writing, I usually ask people like, what is the need? Why do you want to do this project? And people very often don't know what is the need in their community. And also this idea of what is the problem or what is the need, it's often based on some media representations. So it can be really cool to just to, yeah, try to work in totally like different way, which in fact has nothing to do directly with media education. And I think it's really important that there cannot be this situation that, I don't know, comes one person and tells, you know, your neighboring village wants to come to kill you and take away your land, and I will be like, oh, okay, I'm going to kill them first. You know, if I know who is in my neighboring village, I know these people, I will not believe that they are coming to kill us, and you know, this kind of stuff. So it's also about traveling, like to know what happens in other countries, really, because what I see sometimes it's there's also a lot of misinformation, for example, about France in Latvia and all this. So I think it can be one part of all this process. What I do myself, sometimes I try, when I see some kind of comments or points of view what I disagree with, I ask people, why do you think so? Maybe sometimes I post some link from some source which I trust, and I ask, you know, like, can you comment it, like, about this situation and so on. I know it's not much point to do this commenting and responding, but sometimes it's also like just supporting the people who have maybe different approach or point of view. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not checking every information I find. I'm more just staying aware that it might not be true, and that there is always, you know, that there is always like possibility of that even the possibly most professional media, the most honest media, the most objective media, they might just make a mistake, and everybody's in rush and nobody really have time to do a great quality job. So it's normal just not to believe everything, but to keep in mind that they might be also wrong. And I think one very good activity which I like is that if you have any kind of it can be about something that's on media, but it can be also about your personal problem or something, that you just make the list of everything that you know about this topic, and then you write by yourself, is it a fact or is it opinion? And then you can see, like, very often what we believe are facts are just opinions. And I think it's maybe a bit more easier to at least recognize the difference between facts and opinions, and to clarify the information in that way.
Great, thank you for this tip. I think it's really very easy, something and everybody can try. When we are now, I have now feeling that we have like a preparation meeting for the project, like brainstorming different activities. So I really also like this point of the community is very important. And regarding this, recently I had a talk with one friend of mine, Inese also know him, is like one guy, Emir, he left North Macedonia, now he lives in Berlin. And we talk a lot how people now absorb the information, and that it's basically through our phones. And he say, imagine, I took a phone of my uncle, and I was literally shocked in which bubble he's living, because he scrolled there and he saw what kind of news he is reading, and how kind of what he can find like a facts or even like opinions. So yeah, I think that like really it is exploring the community around us, but even the very small communities, like, I don't know, our partners and families, it can be kind of also exciting to see how what kind of information we consume and what we can do with it. And very last part, after these few tips, I just now would like to also focus the attention on, like, yeah, we are youth workers and we work mostly with young people. Do you think that it's something now very important when we talk about young people, like some kind of skill which they should obtain when we talk about media literacy? Because I'm also struggling with this. There is a lot of like findings that they are too much online, they are just scrolling, it's so unhealthy, they should go out. On other side, we live in 21st century. So we cannot just send them out without like touching the phones and the media. So my also kind of now like challenge, or like kind of what I'm thinking about, how to communicate with them about it. And I found also like one very important topic, for example, also safety in media, because I just now see that they also face a lot of challenges. So is there anything like regarding these young people? What do you think that it's important? What kind of message you would like to share with them, or what like your thoughts are on this?
Yeah, I think for the young people, it's one of the things that I say in case if I'm having like some training on this topic, especially with young people, it's to try to show them how they can use social media for let's say more their profession, and also for like, let's say, civic participation, because many of them have like really good skills of producing some content, and I've been always trying to encourage them, okay, go out, share your story, speak about what's important for you, and also check how you look on this social media, especially so if someone wants to give you a job, he doesn't get scared from what he see there. And yes, I mean, when social media appeared, I was a big fan of this, that now everyone has a chance to speak, and everyone can reach a big audience and get the voice. Now we know where it has led, but still, I think, I mean, young people is this group in society whose opinions are mostly not represented in mainstream media, and they are often shown as some kind of problematic part of society who is getting just worse and worse, which I think is not true. And it's nice if young people speak, and if they make their own things and speak about what matters to them. Yes, for the other part, it's, yes, again, of course, this ability to deconstruct media messages and so on, it's important. And I remember myself when I was 18 years old, when I started to study journalism, it was such a big kind of discovery for me that this social construction of reality theory, that actually everything is just a construct of culture, including like what does it mean to be man or woman, or what kind of problems we have, what is a problem. And that many events who seem to be shown like on media very like it seems like you can, like, it's not possible to distort something there. In fact, it's still can be very constructed, very subjective perspective of the event. And this was, maybe I was very naive at that age, but it was really for me like, wow. and it even changed how I perceive a lot of things in life, like knowing that there is not this one single truth or something that you can very blindly follow. And that would be maybe the other message for the young people, that ask questions and question everything, and don't be afraid to do so. Don't follow some authorities, or don't believe someone who writes on Facebook very with a strong confidence and in kind of seemingly very professional way about some topics, because it's yeah. I mean, you understand.
Yeah, no, but I think that it's also very nice that you say it loud, like to question everything. I will now maybe just slowly close it just by adding that I have also like a child, and she's 3 years old, and she's now literally questioning everything. She's asking this repeatedly, why? And when I was thinking about this media literacy concept, I think that sometimes we should be exactly like this 3 years old. Just really question and ask these questions. Honestly, for me, like a parent, in one moment it starts to be very annoying. But I think for kind of questioning or constructions, I think it's very simple question which can lead to some discoveries.
Yeah.
Is there anything would you would like to mention? Because like my plan is to keep this talk short. So I don't want to also keep the time. So anything what do you think that it's important now to say to add to the world which is full of messages and information?
I think it's it's really important to be short and to find the screen free moments as much as possible, and to be connected with the world around, and not get the ideas about the world very much basing on what we see on social media and on mass media. Because it's frustrating, and actually it's often not so true. It's I think people are doing better than it seems from the comments on internet, and yeah.
Great.
I think it's I think this kind of care you mentioned, internet security, safety. I think it's something like taking care of your physical and mental health. It's now also becoming one of the topics of media literacy, how to manage and how to navigate through these digital times and digital relationships and stay healthy. Yeah. So I'm really interested actually about the course, and I hope that there will come together people who are interested to kind of maybe not so much learn about existing approaches in to media education and media literacy, but really to develop something, how we can do things differently and more efficiently, maybe with humor, with fun, or how we can reach those people who don't actually want to come to these courses and learn about critical thinking or media or so on.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to this course. And if you watch this like very short media talk, you can also scroll, because I will publish it on YouTube channel of our organization, Mission Reconnect. And we plan to have these talks with all our partners. So Inese Priedite from Latvian organization was our first guest. Thank you very much, Inese, and thank you very much, Luna, that you stay with us. And for everyone else, like, you can also check more information about the projects. You can also check the partners and the countries, because maybe if you are interested in this topic, very soon the partners will receive information and call for participants, and you may would like to join. And of course, there is also a link to our blog. Yeah, there is never enough information about media literacy, so you can also find some information there.